So thank you, Scott, for joining us.
No problem.
Could you introduce yourself to our readers?
Yep, I am Scott Adamson. I am the Regional Sales Manager for Tomatin Distillery. My job is to look after the sales of Tomatin throughout a lot of our European markets and come to shows and tastings and educate people about our brand and what Tomatin is all about.
Okay, so and when you travel the world and talk to the people about Tomatin, what do you say is the unique thing about your distillery?
The unique thing, one thing that's really unique about Tomatin is we're one of, if not the last distillery to provide housing to the majority of the workers on site. Now that automatically means that you've got this massive tradition of distilling in the area, and people pass on that technique and it goes for a long, long time. And then what we also find as well is we've got a long history. We've been around for just about 120 years now. And things have changed a lot through that time. In the 1970s, we were the biggest distillery in Scotland, producing a lot of whisky to the blended industry. But today we focus more on the single malts that we produce. We've got our own cooperage on site as well, which means that we can play with some really interesting casks. And in tonight's tasting, we'll try a load of different things from various different styles.
Okay, so how much of the capacity of the distillery are you using right now?
At the moment, capacity, if we worked 24/7, we could produce around about 5 million litres of whisky. But right now we're doing a 4.5-day week with 16 mashes a week, and that's giving us around about 2 to 2.5 million litres of alcohol a year, depending on how long the shutdown is in the summer for maintenance work to be carried out.
You've done a lot of interesting bottlings lately.
Yep.
The Kubokan, for example, but also what we call the educational series,
sure.
like the Contrast or the Quattro.
Yep.
Anything else to expect in that direction?
Well, this year we've spent a lot of time, we rebranded the core range at the start of the year, and a lot of what we've done in the past couple of years is educate people about different styles of casks. So we had the Quattro with the 4 sherry casks, the Kubokan, we did the virgin oak, the sherry and the bourbon casks, just educating people about the casks we use and things like that. This year it's been more going back to our roots and saying this is what Tomatin is. You know, we've spent a lot of time and effort to change the presentation of Tomatin, so it's nice to go back and tell people what Tomatin is. So, like so this year's limited releases, we did a 2007 fully matured in rum casks, we did a 2002 finished in Cabernet Sauvignon casks, and we did a 1995 finished in Oloroso sherry hogsheads. Now they don't have the typical sort of the educational slant that we had with the Quattro or the Contrast, but we really just want to go back and say we've got some pretty interesting whiskies lying here, let's release them. Let's show people this is what Tomatin can be, it's what we can do. In the future we'll definitely go back to that sort of educational style, maybe not in the immediate future. We've got a plan of our releases for next year, and it has a slightly different concept than what we've done in the past, but we will return to that sort of idea. I think it's very important as a small brand we can use the casks that we've got to educate people not only about Tomatin but how whisky can be made and what's important.
Mm-hmm. So, and behind all those bottlings you did, how would you describe the house style? What's Tomatin?
The Tomatin style, if you look at the spirit in itself, before we even get it to the cask, it's got a malty backbone. You can actually, it's one of the few whiskies where if you take a nose of it you can smell the malted barley. Then we've got some citrus fruits, some green apples, some grassy herbal notes. And the whole idea behind Tomatin, we go with the ethos of the softer side of the Highlands. The Highland region is a very rugged looking region, and the whiskies of the area have for a long time been that slightly more robust whiskies, but Tomatin is much softer than that. We pride ourselves in having a delicate, easy drinking, softer whiskey, and that's what we go for. And then from there, we play about with our experience of casks. We don't have a range of whiskies where there are just different ages in the same style of cask. So we have, in our core range alone, we use bourbon barrels, virgin oak casks, sherry casks and port casks, and that's in our core range bottlings. So we like to show different aspects of the distillery and hopefully provide something for everybody.
Scott, thank you for joining me.
No problem.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.